Hello and welcome. I'm Scorn, aka Joe Brace, and this is Tony.
Hey, that's me.
And we're here to talk about the gaming industry and everything in between. So what have you been playing this week, Tony?
Just Minecraft, really, I'll be honest with you.
Minecraft. Is that vanilla Minecraft, or are we talking mods?
No, definitely not vanilla. I always mess around with mods, as I always do. I don't know, no podcast yet, but I'm actually addicted to modding.
You're addicted? What?
Yeah, I can't help but mod games. Like, I just start playing a game and go, oh, there's mods for a game.
Mm.
Then I look for more mods, add more mods, mess around with mods. Can't help it.
What kind of mods are you playing with?
Do you want me to name them, or just like sort of mods?
Sort of mods, just general.
Okay. I'm actually looking for like a crossover of like magic and technology, actually, and like survival.
That would be really interesting. Technology magic, where you kind of have to research magic with machines or something. Thaumcraft kind of does that, doesn't it?
Sort of, yeah. I was kind of looking like either have them separate or have them like hybrid, and then but I wanted the mod pack to like start off you starving, then you slowly build up. I don't know what you'd call it, but like camp, I guess. That's what I was aiming for. So like a magical spire to run.
You've mainly been playing Minecraft this week, not really anything new. You've always played Minecraft.
Unfortunately, I've been busy, so I had to stick with bread and butter, potatoes and beans.
Well, I've been playing modern Minecraft recently, actually, as well. Been playing a lot.
Oh, really?
Resonant Rise 3. I recently just set up my my mechanism stuff, but I won't go too in depth into that. But
good old mechanism.
We were talking about last week where we were saying, things I think are going to be big. Was I 0 to 3 or 0 for 4 or something?
0 to 3.
Okay, so this week I had the fortunate chance to see that the Bandai Namco had released a golf MMO called Winning Putt.
Yeah, what a great game.
Now, it is absolutely fantastic. I have played it personally, went through the tutorial, has the normal like JRPG bullshit story tutorial stuff. It's like a pretty okay functioning golf game, and then there's kind of like a hub world, and you can customize your character and stuff. And you can start a guild. I found a lot of people that joined the game, they were skinny golfers, and I'd made myself kind of a blob, kind of a bigger golfer. So I started a guild for larger golfers, big golfers unite. And that was
right. But big golfers unite.
I'm gonna say that I think Winning Putt is gonna be big.
Isn't there a really good deal? Like you can pay into
there's a founders pack at the moment where you can pay, I think it's about £80, and you can get 250 Namco Bandkai balls. I always mess that name up. You can get 250 of those balls and a founder's visor to wear while you're golfing, as well as a permanent golf course. I believe. So, I mean, if you want to invest money, I think it's going to be huge. This is the next Minecraft. This is the next Rocket League. You're going to want to invest now into the golf MMO, the WoW Killer. The WoW
Killer. Single-handedly, the WoW Killer.
Speaking of...
Kidani Horizons then, folks. So, it's coming to a store near you. Speaking of
MMOs as well, I recently started playing Blade and Soul, because it's recently on free-to-play. It's very focused on PvP and combat, which I think is quite good. That's the kind of stuff I like to do, especially when I played WoW and stuff. Well, what? Sorry?
What are the 4 races that you saw? Like, I just want to...
the 4 races. The standard MMO races of white people, black people, midgets, and women. Those are the standard ones.
I was just going to clarify that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different classes. There's like Kung Fu. I chose the Kung Fu Master, which is with the difficulty bars, is meant to be the hardest one. But I thought it looked really cool, so I picked that. And You can do lots of stuff. There's some devastators with big weapons. There's people who use ranged attacks, and it's pretty fun. It's just gone free to play. I did log into it today, and they have a queuing system where free to play people have to wait a long time. I was waiting about 30 minutes in the queue. While if you're still a premium player, you can get straight in, which was kind of annoying. But they've recently gone free to play. Their server issues, basically. Anything. If you have a new MMO or an MMO goes free to play, you're going to have a huge influx of players, so servers aren't always going to be able to handle that many people, but it's pretty fun. The combat is more focused on countering attacks and using combos, which is pretty fun.
Like a fight,
kind of, yeah, but more MMO-ish. You probably have as many abilities as you do on like Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
You have like a moderate amount of abilities. You don't get overrun like a WoW or something where you have.
Yeah, but unlike a fighting game, it doesn't have like combos and things. It's just.
It has combos.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like an arena
how do they
system.
work then?
I'm not sure, Toby. To be honest with you, I've recently started playing it. I know how to count. I've literally in the tutorial quest chain. I've gone around talking to people. I've seen the opening story.
Okay.
So.
It sounds interesting, though. I answered this, actually.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't know if the story's different for each class and race, but it's kind of that general, my master, you've killed him, I must avenge him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of
the usual. Always happens.
Yeah.
Every Saturday that happens.
I have no idea what the leveling is like. I've heard it has really good PvP, so...
Okay.
I know there's dungeons. I've seen gameplay of dungeons. So if you're interested in PvE, I'd give it a check out, as it's gone free to play. So you're not really going to lose anything by putting some time into it. But yeah, those are some of the games. One last one I really want to give an honourable mention because it's a very underrated game, a lot of fun. It's Ziggurat. This is
good game.
It's kind of like a magic FPS Binding of Isaac. It's the way I would describe it.
First person.
I saw it about a year ago or two when Turtle Biscuit made a video about it, and it's probably one of the best FPS roguelike games. Very fun. It's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons experience where you basically have wands and alchemy sticks, and you go through each level and you find enemies and you kill them for XP, and when you level up you pick a card and you use that card to upgrade your abilities and yourself. You give yourself more health and stuff, and there's some pretty interesting cards. Like they're not the standard cards where it's like plus health, plus mana. It's like you can get double healing from pots, but you take double damage from enemies, that sort of stuff. Really interesting stuff, kind of like the perks you would see in Fallout 3, where you had these really interesting benefits and disadvantages. And
they put effort into it, basically.
It's pretty hard. I've got to the end boss twice, and he's kicked my ass, so... I definitely recommend playing that if you hadn't had the chance and you're interested in Binding of Isaac and Spelunky and the roguelike games. So, that's the intro. We've talked about what we've been playing this weekend. We're going to come up to the first topic, which is crowd-funded games. So, not that long ago, Tim Schafer, I think it was on the Game Awards, he'd announced that Psychonauts 2 was coming out, and people were very excited for this, because people have been wanting another Psychonaut games for years. So, people were really excited when they saw the trailer. They thought, fantastic. And then Tim was like, oh yeah, it's crowdfunding. So I believe they're using Fig to crowdfund this.
Yeah.
And something interesting about Fig is that Tim's on the board of Fig. So he has a stake in the crowdfunding website, which is kind of not as transparent. Not as transparent as you'd like it to be, and it even says in the wording they can use the money you give to them for Psychonauts 2 for other projects, even, which is kind of shaky. And after Broken Age, we're kind of not trusting Jim as much. He originally got the crowdfunding for Broken Age 2. It's meant to be released episodically, and then they release part 1, and they didn't have the funding for the next part, so they had to use the sales from that to fund the part 2, and that was a bit of a mess and a mishap. So yeah, Tony, what do you think about this?
What I don't understand though is why didn't they just use Kickstarter? Like, to me, the fact that they haven't used Kickstarter and instead use this company which he's on the board of means that he wants to use the money elsewhere for something else. To me, it seems like something else has gone wrong already.
It feels like he wants a security blanket. Next game. I think he wants a security blanket in case it goes wrong, because somewhere like Kickstarter could easily just, return that money and give it back, and Tim wouldn't get his grubby hands on it.
Yeah, but as a consumer, I want that. I want my. I'm fair enough if he wants his safety net, but I want my own safety net as well.
That's exactly what we're going to be talking about, because we know he had a big party, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, in his lavish party in one of the most expensive places in the world, he laid off 12 people from his company. And this money you're giving, this money you're giving on Fig, which Tim owns a piece in, also, and can be spent on other games, he's also not even going to fund the development of Psychonauts 2. It's going to fund part of getting investors involved in funding Psychonauts 2. So you're not even 100% guaranteed to even make the game. It seems a bit wonky to me.
It is completely wonky. Let's not beat around the bush here. That's just stupid.
No,
how transparent was it when he said the money for this kickstarting? I'll call it the crowdfunding, I guess. When did he say it went into the investors for it?
He said that in the presentation. He showed a brain. Okay. He showed a Psychonauts brain presentation, and he showed that their money was going towards a bigger area of the brain, and that was going to be the investors' money. So he was transparent with that, but it all seems a little bit,
I don't trust with you. It seems that he can't. He doesn't understand it properly.
Now let's talk about Psychonauts, because I have played a little bit of Psychonauts, and I thought it was fun, but I got stuck at one point and I kind of gave up. I don't think you've ever played Psychonauts, have you?
I have seen people play it, and
you've seen playthroughs.
It didn't. Yeah. It didn't seem to have a lot of traction at the beginning, but then it got a huge cult following. I say huge. Relatively huge because original start.
But we understand how big this game is,
Yeah, loads of people love it.
We understand that the kind of traction crowdfunding Psychonauts 2 will have.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like he's using that to get the money in the first place.
Would we suggest people to crowdfund Psychonauts 2? That's the question. Would you personally?
If it was on Kickstarter, I think I would.
Because I know you're someone who likes you believe in early access on Kickstarter, and I'm someone who's more reserved and I want to see the finished product more before I put my money into it.
No, I'm quite happy to put money towards it, so I don't really mind. I think, to be fair, all the ones I've actually helped Kickstarter have seen the light of day, so that helps.
Well, you have the rule that if it's fun and playable when you back it on early access, then it's worth.
Oh, and on early access, yes, yeah.
But with Kickstarter, you can't get that kind of,
no
guarantee that the game's even going to be even slightly playable.
For Kickstarter, okay, I'm going to slightly contradict myself here, but on Kickstarter, my general rule is to look at the developer and what they've done in the past. Not it's not on Kickstarter, but just in general, what they've done. And then go from there and look at how compelling and how transparent.
What if a lot of the developers on Kickstarter are indie devs who've never made a game before? You would stay away from those, wouldn't you?
Again, it depends. Don't put much money in if you don't vouch for their integrity, I guess.
Yeah,
but it is a risk anyway, isn't it? It's always going to be an investment, but you don't get anything back in return for it. You're just paying for something later.
Well, I've been burned before by my good friend Peter Molyneux.
Your friend.
My good friend Peter Molyneux, we don't deliver pizzeria, where he promises a lot of things and he never delivers on them. So I'm very skeptical when it comes to trusting these sort of people who aren't as transparent as they seem. Like, I bought a Kinect because I saw Project Milo. You remember Project Milo, don't you?
You actually bought it for that.
I saw Project Milo and I was like, holy shit, AI is going to be able to talk to you. This is revolutionary. I am buying a Kinect.
I feel sorry for you, actually.
I still have the Kinect, actually. One day I had to turn it into a HD webcam, so... That's what it is. It costs like hundreds of pounds or something, and it's just like, it's a pretty good HD webcam, yeah. I think the Kinect is a piece of garbage, practically. And I think if you're going to be using...
I've never seen it used...
I think if you're using interactive controls, I think the Wii or the Wii U is actually a lot more fun. To be honest with you, I think it's I think the Wii U is a really good party game. I think it has potential.
I was going to say, the only time I've seen the Kinect work well is outside of gaming and like university projects for like a robot trying to find out where it needs to go. That's the only time it's been used well.
Yeah, but that's not good for the average gamer, though. And that's what we...
No, definitely not. That's just awful. I mean, Star Wars Kinect. Ugh.
Fantastic. I think it was found that if you had a toy lightsaber, it actually picked up your movements a lot better if you were wielding like a toy lightsaber, which is quite funny.
Well, it makes sense because it's tracking it in the same sort of way, isn't it?
Well,
that's another problem I have as well. Is like I feel like when we're playing a game, we want something tactile to hold. Like, so if we're actually moving around, I want to actually feel like a plasma gun or a lightsaber.
See, I can't use D-pads.
I don't just pretend to hold it because I can do that anyway.
I can't use D-pads on a tablet. I find them impossible to use. Like, if I really need like a Game Boy D-pad and A button, like to play platformers and stuff, and I find platformers playing on PC a lot easier with like a tactile controller where I can feel the button feedback.
I think in general that's what most people want. They want some sort of feedback back. You can't just wave in the air. It doesn't feel the same.
I felt the Wii U would be more popular.
The imagination can only go so far.
I felt the Wii U would be more popular if it had more games when it came out. Like if Super Mario Maker was a game on release, it would be way more popular than it is right now.
They probably should have actually held back the launch until these games came out, really.
It's Nintendo. What they do never makes sense, so... But
it's true. Then again, many companies don't like holding back their consoles, so it's not just them.
Well, we'll come back to crowdfunding games, though, so... What do we think of Psychonauts 2? Would you suggest anyone to back this?
I'm going to be honest... I find it's really difficult because I haven't played it, but I want to see Psychonauts 2 be a thing. I understand the need for it. I understand the appeal of it. I really want to see it, but
back it
it's just so shady.
Right.
I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's about all we're going to say about Psychonauts right now. So I think if you're interested in Psychonauts and you trust Tim Schafer enough to hand over all of your money without any guarantee that it'll ever get used for anything useful, you know, I don't know. Tim's pretty more trustworthy than Peter because Peter's been he's had a lot of scrutiny. I rather enjoyed the rock paper shotgun interview where the first question was, Peter, why are you a pathological liar? That was one of my favourite interviews of Peter Molyneux. But what were you going to say, Tony?
I was going back to Tim Schafer. I was going to say at least he's released all of his games that he's promised in a state that he actually said it would be. But I don't like the problem with that though is then DF9.
DF9. Right, you want to talk about this?
It was a game in early access.
Yeah.
By Tim Schafer made it. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
It's a isometric base building game. Pretty fun, and it was promised to have a lot of stuff. And then one day, around about Broken Age being released, was pretty much cancelled, effectively, and then cancelled later on that year, or a few months later. Pretty disappointing.
Were people offered refunds? Did everyone get their money back? Or?
No, not even slightly.
Okay.
It just got released, and all the forums that said what was going to be added just got removed.
I think I have played Stacking, the Xbox Live Arcade game from Tim Schafer, and that was a lot of fun. Like, I can see that Double Fine can make some really fun games.
Yeah, they can. Their ideas are amazing.
I don't think Tim's on Peter Molyneux level of pathological lying, but I wouldn't personally recommend backing this unless you are a huge psycho.
He needs a better accountant. Yep. He needs a better project manager.
So something else I want to talk about before we kind of lose relevancy with this is the Oculus Rift. Now I know this. The price point of the $600. What do you think about this?
I'll be honest with you. When I first heard it, I was a bit disappointed. Like, so I kind of wanted one. Like, $100 is a lot of money, even in British pounds, British sterling. But I'm not surprised. I don't know what estimates from the company, but apparently there were. Right. I don't know why they gave those estimates, but I wasn't I'm not surprised at all, is what I'm trying to say. But it is disappointing that I can't give up for it, or later generation.
I'm someone who's actually used a Oculus Rift. My brother, he bought the dev kit, and I actually have it sat in my room. So I've someone who's used it, and it's very fun. Like, I know Jim made a video on this. He said he's had a lot of fun with the virtual technology. And
I definitely see the future for it. It seems for some games a way to go, or some genres a way to go.
I think there's definitely niche games for it, because I have experienced like sickness while playing the Oculus for too long. You have to really take breaks in between it. But I'm also someone who gets sick if there's like motion blur in a game, or it's natural selection too. So natural selection 2 is in a category under my games list of the category games that make me feel sick, and it's just that game. Being inside the dinosaurs is really it's really off-putting. Like, it really makes you...
Your brain just says no. Makes you feel sick.
The camera's inside, like, their mouths. It's really weird. Like,
yeah.
Their eyes are on the top of their head.
Is that what the problem is?
The camera's in their mouths, and you're, like, crawling up walls, and your perspective is really thrown off, and you just... I couldn't play it for more than, like, an hour without, having to stop.
Well, for someone that doesn't get motion sick that easily, I find, like, when I went on, like, a ship or a ferry this time, I did feel motion sickness, but then after an hour I got used to it. So I'm kind of thinking, for someone like me, I reckon I could get used to the Oculus Rift quicker. I would hope.
I definitely found that gamers are more resistant to the Oculus Rift. Like, if you put someone who'd never doesn't really play games on an Oculus Rift, they will feel sick really quick.
Yeah.
But if you're a gamer and you're used to this sort of thing, I found you kind of have more of a natural resistance towards it. That's what I found. I was kind of sick the first time.
I think that seems to be correct, yeah.
I think I also played a lot of games that were meant to make you feel sick, because there was like a roller coaster one where you go, go shooting along, and there was like this. The worst one was this game where you just grapple between trees. So you're like flying through the air with a grappling hook, grappling from tree to tree, and that can be quite off-putting when you're wearing it. I think if there were some games that I would say were made for kind of virtual reality, it would kind of be more towards the horror genre.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Going back to the controversy though, and say like you were talking about like the old kits, like the dev build in a way. People were saying like that was a lot less expensive than the current version.
And you didn't get a lot of the bloat stuff. Like, it doesn't have headphones, and everyone that's going to buy an Oculus Rift is going to own headphones, and they're probably going to own a controller. They're not going to want an Xbox One controller that's bundled with it.
That's true. But one other thing to mention as well is that the resolution of the current version is much higher than the previous one. Like, the other one was literally tested. This one is to be sold commercially.
Yeah. I think you can definitely get away with not having the Xbox One controller on the headphones, but if they've upgraded the Oculus itself, then there's going to add cost onto it.
Yeah, but I honestly think that if they get rid of everything, if it's just Oculus Rift later on, their packs will just have an Oculus Rift by itself. That, to me, it gets down closer to what I was willing to spend for it.
People have
I don't know.
People have compared it to buying like a big screen TV or
like a 4K TV.
4K TVs aren't that cheap, are they? To be honest,
no.
There's like a big purchase. Like it's definitely not going to be in every gamer's house. It's definitely a luxury.
Well, the example is quite good because people bought them before there was 4K broadcasts. That they're investing for the future, but they kind of paid for it with money. If that play on words makes sense.
I don't know what watching things on them is like. I think you can have like a virtual cinema or something. There's like a virtual cinema dev kit thing, and you can watch stuff in a cinema and choose your seat and sort of stuff. I don't know if there's like any real development that wants to go into watching movies on an Oculus Rift. I think if you're going to watch a movie, it's probably just on a screen.
I would have thought so, but you never know. Something to come out of it.
So, with talking about virtual reality headsets, what do you think of the Vive, the HTC Vive? Have you?
I don't really know, but I can remember vaguely what it's about, but I didn't. The information you can help me with her, like, can you explain slightly?
Well, the thing is, they haven't really released that much.
That's what I thought.
It's kind of a bit more secluded testing with selected individuals. But
the Morpheus looks hospital by the looks of it.
This is going to be this is the Valve partnership. They're going to work with the HTC Vive with Steam VR, and to get that working together.
Okay.
They're really trying to push
so that's just
virtual reality.
Okay.
To go with like the Steam controller and that sort of stuff. If you're going to play on the Oculus, I would definitely recommend a controller. I think bundling one in if you don't have one is smart, but I think it should be optional.
Yeah, I think at the moment they just need more packages for like one with a controller, one without, one with headphones, one without.
So if the HTC came out and its price was cheaper than the Oculus, would you be interested in the HTC? The Vive?
I'll be honest with you, as long as it's in the similar price range, I don't actually care about the price. It's kind of how it works.
But I think if a competitor's headset came out cheaper price, it may get more attention and more money.
Yeah, definitely.
The VR competition is very important, so you don't Oculus doesn't have a monopoly over VR.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Morpheus, like the Sony's Morpheus. Is like, I don't know if that's coming to PC or is it like staying on console. So I
haven't heard anything about that. Do you want to explain that?
No, I don't think they've released any. But yeah, competition is going to be important.
Isn't Google VR like you can just get a piece of cardboard and you look into your phone or something? There's definitely like a really cheap VR. I think it's Google.
Yeah, there's like Google's Cardboard or something.
They definitely have like basically a piece of cardboard that you put on your phone. The phone gets split into two separate images, and then you just wear this cardboard contraption with your phone on your head.
But even with like my phone, like when you put it up really close, like, I can see the pixels. Like you can sort of see like, and a phone's already expensive. Like obviously not just the screen and no.
I think it's meant for people who already have decent phones. You can just buy the
those super expensive
cardboard
phones. Yeah.
I heard that it wasn't that bad actually. So maybe.
Well, no.
I don't think I'd ever use it personally. I'm not really that interested.
Yeah, wouldn't you look like a complete nunce?
Well, wouldn't you look like a complete nunce using an Oculus? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but if someone you're wearing the Oculus Rift. Someone walks into your room using the Oculus Rift. If you got a phone, put a Google Cardboard on it, and look walking around and go, "What are you doing with your phone?"
I'm watching some stuff in VR.
3D.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't. But I don't see it as a competitor in any way. Like, it's just something that Google has.
You wouldn't see Google Cardboard as a competitor, but maybe HTC Vive if we got some more information about it.
Yes,
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
The Portal demo looks very interesting for the HTC Vive, where you basically work and you take robots apart and you put them back together. I just like Valve, basically.
I look forward to more information, but
I'd look forward to Valve developed VR games. I think they can really do something with them.
Yeah, I think a lot of the games would work really well with like the VR because it's just they tend to go for like heights, don't they, or like visceral heights and things.
Look at this.
In most of their games.
It's kind of like in 3D movies where they have someone who's like punching out the screen. It's like, look at the 3D.
Yeah. Whereas in VR, you can actually do the whole looking down like a massive skyscraper or something, and would be really interesting. But as someone who's actually afraid of heights, I'm really interested to have a VR game that has heights involved.
I saw that somebody had put a bunch of screens together and it was like a really big system where they had a lot of screens put together and they were playing Mirror's Edge on it, and they said it made them feel really sick to have it that close and feel that realistic. So I think these games where they're trying to show off what you can do in the Oculus probably aren't going to be the games that people will regularly play. These are the kind of games that are going to be like, oh, I kind of feel sick now, I'm going to come off.
Yeah, they're like showy off pieces, aren't they, for competition? It's like the fake stuff, not the main genres for it necessarily.
I think these are more of tech demos than
yeah.
These are going to be the games you're going to play. I always think it's interesting to see what people can develop on the one of the games I enjoyed on the Rift was a space game where you sit in a chair and you fly around space. And you come up to planets, and it just gives you information on the planets, and you can really get it's really good with space and planets because you can really get a perspective on how big a planet is if you can look up and see it, and then it goes, this is pretty big, isn't it? Now look how fucking big this planet is, and it's like, whoa, like it's really good for getting a scale of how big things are. I think it could be a really good education tool. Really, the Oculus, if we put money into it. I know recently, actually, they released the educational Minecraft edition, and they were trying to push it into.
Oh yes,
have you seen that?
I've heard of it. I haven't really seen. No, I don't know all the difference. How is it educational?
I think it's like an earlier build of Minecraft. I don't know if it's the full Minecraft, but I know teachers have a lot of control over what the kids can do in the world. Basically, they can choose what the kids can do to try and keep them on task and give them a specific objective, and then they can kind of use that to get their like juices flowing creatively. That sounded weird. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, move on quickly from that.
So, so you think Oculus... So, final thoughts, Oculus Rift, $600. What do you think? Are people going to buy it?
$600 is a lot. I'm not going to buy it, but I will wait until the next generation. I probably definitely will buy it then. And I definitely think VR is something for the future. Fad just for our generation. I honestly think it has a future.
I think $600 is a bit too much. I think it won't get. I think enthusiasts will buy it, but it won't get massively adopted. And
but be honest, that you kind of have to do it that way though. You can't just go straight into making it cheap, because you can't guarantee that sales wise that everyone's just going to buy it. So if my brother who bought the Oculus is anything to go by, you'll play it a couple of times, have a bit of fun, and then you'll kind of just get bored of it. That's what happened with him. No, he kind of gave it to me and said, if you want to do some like YouTube stuff or recording with this, then you're free to use it. But yeah, I never got round to it. I've got many games I want to play with it. I never got round to it because they didn't support Windows 10 in like late 2015 when I got it. So I haven't checked yet, and I haven't really played around with it. But I don't think VR technology is at a point where it's going to be mass adopted. And $600, it's definitely not. I think we definitely need more time to research it. I think Oculus Rift is going to be fun for enthusiasts. If you want to buy one, you've got the money and you're okay with spending the price point on that, then go ahead. I think the reason people were really annoyed was because it was said it was going to be a lot cheaper earlier on. They said it was going to be, I think it was about $400 maybe or something. It wasn't a promise though. They just said that's what they're aiming for. Well, people saw that they got bought up by Facebook, and they kind of thought, Facebook's going to be pushing this they want to make more money, they're trying to include stuff we don't need, and they kind of worried that they may mess it up. And I think that's a legitimate concern, actually, that maybe... I think it's a legitimate concern, but I don't think that is that concern coming to life. I think it's just... it costs more than they wanted it to. Well, I know their pre-order wave has already sold out, so they've already made like a substantial amount of money. But if you want to get interested in VR, it is a lot of fun. I would recommend it if you have the money. It is expensive just to try out. It's a bit of fun, and I think wait until it's released. Read reviews, and just as a general rule of thumb, any game, anything. Do not pre-order it, basically. I would also say, like, kind of treat it like a console. Like, you have to remember, like, games have been made for it. Yeah. It's like its own console in its own... I know on Steam there's a lot of, like, VR-ready games. There's a tag next to, like... I own Elite Dangerous, which is it made its own little category on my Steam. I know Elite Dangerous is kind of really pushing for like the VR experience, which I think is. I think space is a really good area to have. It's VR. For those who don't know, it's like you're in space. You're a space trucker, and it's like everything's from like the cockpit view, and you have to like move your head around to like use the menus. So everything's as if you're in the cockpit yourself. And it works. I've seen people use it with VR, and it works absolutely amazingly. I think for ships that fly around, I think a joystick movement. I think the people I watched use proper joystick and Oculus Rift setups. But I think for general games, a controller should be fine. The problem is with the keyboard is you can't see the keys, even if you kind of know where the keys are. You can't align yourself. It's funny, isn't it? When you're typing, you don't tend to look at the keys, but whenever I start playing a game, though, I'm like, I know where WSAD is, and anything from there, I have to look at it. I think you have muscle memory though. You know where it is, but you couldn't name it. But what I'm trying to say is you lose all your depth perception basically when you put the Oculus in. So you really need something small in your hands where you can feel where the buttons are. And with the keyboard, you can't really hold on to the keyboard at the sides to know exactly which end is which. And I think it works a lot better with a controller. Personally, I think I would definitely agree with that. So again, I'll say I think bundling the controller's smart because everyone's going to want to play a controller, but make it optional and maybe wait until people have reviewed it.
and on the final release, because the dev kits themselves are pretty functional, pretty fun, pretty good. So if that's anything to go by, then it should be good. It should be fun. I think there's definitely more work in VR that needs to be done, and competition is healthy. I want to see what the Vive's going to do. I want to see. I want to see more Google Cardboard. It's as silly as it sounds. That is actually good, cheap competition, Toby.
I don't see it as competition forever. Like, not even slightly.
Okay, so
I think they're just going to make some small gimmicky games. I don't think it has anything to do with like VR that we are looking forward to.
Okay, so we'll end the Oculus Rift topic there, and we'll go on to the topic I've been looking forward to.
Oh God!
Now, this is a segment we wanted to do for a while, because a lot of the time I'll go on my queue on Steam, and I'll see a lot of games and think, what the fuck is that? And it'll be some like anime bullshit, or like some, building sim where you're a cat that you have to build with your claws or some shit. Early access, Steam trading cards, clickbait, and I'll see Toby wants this game, And so I wanted to do a section where I'm going to go through Tony's wish list, and I'm gonna ask him why he wishlisted this based solely on the store page and the trailer.
Okay.
Without looking further into the gameplay reviews, that sort of stuff. I just want to know why you personally put it on your wish list based on what you saw on the store page.
I feel like I'm being scrutinised by like some sort of game detective at the moment.
Well, you are.
Okay, go on then.
You've got a lot of shit on your wish list, Toby.
I have a lot to answer for.
So you can get this game up. Shanty and the Pirate's Curse. Now, it's already got one of my favourite user-defined tags, female protagonist. I love that genre of games. I love female protagonist genre of games.
Well, I'll be honest with you, it had Pirate's Curse in it, and I was immediately... Let's look at the artwork.
I'll click on one of the artworks. It kind of reminds me of Contra a little bit.
Yeah.
Can we just say female protagonist is not a genre of games? I don't know why it exists. Having a female protagonist in a game shouldn't be a selling point, because if you really... Why would you want to play a game just because it's got a female in it? We should play games because they're good. I think...
Well, let's say even if female protagonist was a feature, where's the male protagonist section?
This is just sexism at its highest, Toby. At its highest.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you? All right, I'm going to read out the description for this game, and I think this is what sold me. I might cut out, but we can deal with this.
Yeah.
Embark on an all-new adventure with Shanty, the hair-whipping, belly-dancing genie. After losing her magic, Shanty's up with the nefarious pirate Risky Boots in order to save Sequin Land from a curse.
See, this already sounds shit.
What do you mean? It sounds amazing.
It sounds like complete bullshit, basically. £15 for this. It's got very positive reviews, I'll give it that. But it looks like it's a 2D platformer with a kind of retro art style. I mean,
oddly, it's got Peggy 12, violence and sex.
Violence and sex, Toby.
Apparently.
Wow. Well, if Toby cuts out and you can't really find about the game, the pictures will be in the video, so you can have a look at the store page and have a look at it yourself. Now, this is the next important part that I need to look about. Does it have partial controller support? Has it got Steam trading cards? It has got Steam trading cards.
It's got full controller support and Steam trading cards.
And this is very important.
Achievements.
It's very important for a platformer to have full controller supports, so I will give it props for that. That's a thumbs up from me. Now, Steam trading cards, that's kind of some people it's a plus. I kind of think it's almost a... it's almost a sign that you have a bad game. On a lot of games, one of your main features is Steam trading cards.
It's not his main feature though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
really proud of it.
The main feature of this game is Steam trading cards, but I feel a lot of bad games, they kind of make Unity asset first, and they go, I'll add a couple of achievements, partial controller support, and Steam trading cards, and these are the features people are paying for instead of the actual game itself. I feel like the actual game itself has become washed out with, the other features that are being added as well. But this looks pretty good. Wii Brazil, really enjoyed it. They gave it a 9.5.
I was going to say that the ones they've chosen are all about Nintendo. It's a bit odd.
So after each one, we'll do about 5 or so, and that's like a normal wish list. That's not like a normal queue. Sorry, length is about 5 to 10. We'll do about that. But at the end of each one, I'll say, Toby, will you justify the wish listing list, and I'll see whether I will add it personally to my wish list. So, Toby, Shantae the Pirate's Cursed, I think you're justified. I think it's okay. I mean, it loses points. Female protagonist tag. Really, why is that? Why is that a job?
I like laughing at the female protagonist.
I think it's hilarious that people think female protagonist is a genre of game. But
well, to be fair, I never said it was a genre. It's just a tag used for it. I really like the idea of having like games having lots of tags, so it's like really in depth of what it actually is. So you can easily find them. But obviously, it's not a genre. It's not really a selling point. It's just something like you might be looking for. So I'm not going to discourage it, but I do want to say our protagonist as a tag as well.
Right. It's £15 base price. So for that reason, I'm not going to put it on. I could put it on for a sale, but I feel
it's definitely fair item, isn't it?
I'd feel like the sale would have to be quite substantial for me to consider putting it on there. So for that reason, I'm out. Sorry.
You're out. Okay. Next product.
Next one. Move or Die, the friendship ruining game. If you want to look that up quickly.
Alright, this is what I added recently. And I don't know, you've chosen 2 platformers, haven't you? And I don't like platformers.
Well, you've put platformers on your wish list, Toby. This is why I get very confused by your wish list when I look through my queue and it goes, Tony wants this game. Because I'm like, why does Tony want this
Okay. I really don't like just normal platformers, but if you add something to it that's interesting, I will actually like it. I'm not put off by platformers. I just platformers.
All right. So do you want to read the description? I'll read the description, actually.
You can read this one.
Move or Die is an absurdly fast-paced 4-player local and online party game where the mechanics change every 20 seconds, the very definition of a perfect friendship-ruining game. So, let's have a look. Full control support, this is a platformer, it has it. Oh, this actually...
It has it.
This actually has a lot of features. It has single-player multiplayer, cross-platform multiplayer, local co-op, and a workshop. I think workshops is not one of these clickbait things that's a feature. I think you actually have to put a lot of time into developing a workshop with an active community of modders to, actually use it. So I think
it's quite hard to integrate a game with it in general. Harder than clickbait stuff isn't going to have it in general.
This game actually does look very good, and so there's a point I will say, Tony. It's on sale at the moment, if anyone wants to pick it up while this podcast is out. It does end on the 28th of January, and time for the 24th, so you'll have time.
I believe it's on its 10% off because it's just been released. It's released on the 21st of January 2016, So
I will add this to my wish list. I think this is...
Actually, add it to your wish list.
I am a fan of platforming games, and this looks fun. The only qualm I have...
No, I think we can have a lot of fun with this, Joe.
The only qualm I have is if one of these games on PC, if it only has local co-op, I probably wouldn't wish list it, because I'm not a person who gets people around and has, 4 people playing on a computer. But if
it's completely stupid to have on a Steam game. You're absolutely
on a computer game, I think you definitely need multiplayer co-op, which is why I will be adding it. I think it's earned that, and we should add a spotlight to this game. It looks good. It's got very positive reviews.
Yeah,
and
you can see the images now, so you make your own mind up from what I've seen.
So if you're interested in multiplayer co-op platformers, you might be interested. There's another game that might be like this is Battle Block Theatre. I really enjoyed that. That's a online multiplayer co-op platformer. I actually deducted points from my review of Binding of Isaac Rebirth because the co-op feature was only local co-op on a PC game. So I really think if you do not have multiplayer co-op on these kind of party games, then it really takes points away from it when it's on PC. So we'll go back and we'll have a look at another game. So let's have a look at this. The Magic Circle. I think I've seen
Magic. Yeah,
I think I've seen trailers for this. This looks really good, actually. Isn't this one where you have to reprogram the game?
The game. This is the one that Jim Sterling played on his Squirty Plays, and he was really interested in it. But yeah, it has a narrative, and you can like recode stuff. And was it that?
Toby, partial controller support. It's useless.
Can I just say before we carry on?
Yeah.
That you want this game.
Yeah, this is on my wish list. But I think it's important to bring to light games that I don't think get enough recognition that I think
if I were to see this on my queue, I would never have added this to my wish list. Only added it. I watched the video that Jim Sterling made and instantly went to Steam and added it to my wish list.
It looks really interesting. I think it's well made. Partial control support isn't that important because I'm not a big fan of partial control support. I think you should have full control.
It's your pet peeve.
If you're going to add any, but I think it should be fine as it's not a platformer. But I think this looks really good. It's a funny game. A lot of comedy, a lot of humour, and yeah.
Soundtrack's pretty good as well.
I will take it off my list, Toby, so I can add it again. How'd you get it?
Right, well, fair enough.
Well done on that one then, Toby. So this looks like
I did good.
This looks like anime bullshit, so let's click on this.
God.
Pyrite Heart, Toby. Mixed reviews. We're getting to a good one now. There's two features: trading cards and single player.
Okay, the features for this game is simply single player and scene trading cards. That's it. It's
apparently it's a visual novel of anime and it's a dating sim. So yeah. Do you want to talk about that, Tony? Why did you put this on the wish list?
Okay, I guess it's a guilty pleasure, but I find dating sims weird, and I find them weird to play. It's like min-maxing, but with relationships.
See, I don't really get these. I'm not a big fan, but I'd understand something like Hatful Boyfriend, where you can have pigeons instead of people. I think that's very funny.
No, yeah, I understand. Yeah, Hatful Pigeon is from Boyfriend. Sorry, I'm confused by the pigeon.
Yeah.
So Hatful Boyfriend. Yeah, I would say like in a way that's kind of the top of the isn't it? Like it's most funny, it's most interesting, it has different endings. Whereas this is just a par for par dating sim. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I can justify myself on this one.
I'm gonna say I don't think I can justify you putting this one on, and I'm not putting it on mine personally.
Should I read the description anyway?
Yeah, read the description.
When a feud with her brother gets too hot, Princess Ahi Rumino, a young woman with a heart of fire, accepts a challenge that she cannot thrive in the world outside the Imperial Palace. In her first day in class, the boisterous princess finds a potential rival in the student body president.
So wait a minute, she's a princess.
And she's going to
just a normal. She's a princess that just goes to normal Japanese school to find relationships and love and do schoolwork.
You know what? I think it's this basketball image that sold me, actually.
Yeah. I don't know why that's there. Did you play basketball at some point?
His blinding speed and agility lets him dodge. Lets him dodge through the lesser players.
It's got
a mighty jumps up and releases the shot. Perfect.
I think it's got mixed reviews. I wouldn't put this on my wish list. I don't like this kind of genre, so I won't be too harsh on it because I don't want to be biased against a genre I'm interested in. But I think it's actually something we might talk about is a Yandere simulator because that looks very interesting on another podcast. Because that's kind of similar to this, but you're kind of like going around murdering potential rivals for your love.
Yeah,
your crazy
it's a very
anime girl.
Very disturbed at all, and I'm very interested in seeing when this gets released and what's going to happen with it.
So I think we'll do one more game.
One more piece of scrutiny.
One more.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna look, and I'm gonna pick a really good-looking game.
Okay.
Well, what's this actually? I was gonna click on one, and then I saw another game. And I was like, right, it's early access, fantastic. Toby, you want Death Goat? What's Death Goat?
Death Goat.
So I'll read the description. Death Goat is a bloody arcane shooter featuring hordes of brutal enemies and eardrum-destroying heavy metal. Now, this actually looks kind of amazing. Watching the trailer, I don't like the art style that much.
No.
It feels a bit...
But I was put up on the art style. But then I watched the trailer and I kind of liked it.
Well,
I don't know.
It's early access, full controller support, which is really important for like an action, kind of indie game where you go around and you fight enemies in an arena. But it's got leaderboards, which is something that's really good that I find that helps me keep playing, especially on like a roguelike game where you can log on every day, like on Spelunky or Ziggurat, and you can play a daily challenge, which is the kind of the same battle that everyone gets, and you get ranked against each other. So you don't have any advantages playing like a different randomly generated level. You'll play the same one, and you can kind of try and improve on that and get up a ranking. So I find leaderboards on games like this and roguelike games to be really good. This isn't necessarily a roguelike game. It's more just a twin stick shooter.
Yeah, I was gonna this to me. You see, first attempt at a game or an early attempt of many games or whatever. But the price point for this is only £2.
It's £2,
and a lot of people seem to like it full price. To me, this is worth £2.
Yeah, looking at the gameplay now, it's an early access, but the game does look pretty polished to the point where £2 would not be...
I don't like the art style, but I can get past that.
Now, you have a general rule of thumb, Toby, when it comes to games, which I will repeat again. You say games on average should be about £1 per hour. So every hour you put into a game is a pretty good scale on seeing how many hours you put into the game and how much it was worth paying that much. So I think if you play 2 hours on this, which you probably will for £2, this is going to be worth its value. And I like Death Goats, I like heavy metal, so... And it's got full control support, very important, and it has the Steam leaderboards, which I don't think a lot of people would think would be a key feature, but I really do think in these kind of twin stick shooters and roguelike games, it's pretty important. So I will be adding it to my wish list right now, Toby.
You're actually adding it.
So well done on picking up this game, because I don't think I would have ever have seen this game otherwise. So, congratulations. We like to do this. We're going to start doing this weekly to pick up smaller games that people may have dismayed or not think that they look good, and we'll really try and look at them and see if we think that they were justified in not looking at these smaller games. So I think that wraps up the podcast. I think we're coming towards the time that we had last time, so it's a pretty good time to end. So,
I was mostly humiliated, so I think that was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to humiliate me by looking at my wish list, do you at all, Toby? I mean, we could. But there's not enough time for that. There's not enough time for that, so we'll just have to stop it now.
Okay. Yeah. I see how it is.
Yeah, so I've been Joe Bruce, aka Scorn. You can reach me on Twitter at Scorn2000. I'll post everything there. That's where I'm most active. I also have Facebook if you're interested in that. Just search Scorn. We're going to be moving the podcast to YouTube. The original one's on SoundCloud. We might be able to fit this second one on SoundCloud, but until we get SoundCloud Premium, we're going to have to move on to YouTube, and we're going to have an edited version with pictures. So it's going to be an improved experience for you who like watching the videos and looking at stuff. But we will try and get an audio version up, maybe on Dropbox. But if you follow me on Twitter, that'll be the place to see where we're going to be uploading this. That'll be the place to get all your information. So, I have been Scorn, and you have been...
Oh, it's just Tony, I guess.
Okay, we'll end it like that, right?
Just Tony.
Come back next week. We're going to be doing these weekly, so remember, always check weekly if we have released it, and bother us if we haven't, alright?